Okay, welcome everybody. I think this is working now. Let me just make sure. Just doing it. Okay, so it is working now. Awesome. Let me fix the audio. Audio should be working now. There we go. Okay. So welcome to Tier 6, Qatar. Currently we have Alex 26C on provisional pole position. I'm pretty sure this is a short qualifying session. I could be wrong. It could be a full qualifying session. I wasn't able to check. But as of right now, we have a Aston Martin on provisional pole with a 123.2. We do have a lot of cars on laps. Let me pull the things I need to up. So we have a couple cars crossing the line. We do have a couple cars on intermediates. I'm guessing that is a intermediate championship there. And still no one able to beat the GSRL Alpha 123 with a 122.1. That is a whole second faster. However, Alex 26C did put it on the mediums, which makes me think that this is a full qualifying session. Just saving a set of softs maybe for the race or maybe later on in qualifying. That was a pretty impressive lap time. We have a Aston Martin coming in the pits, but we do have an Alpine coming across the line, I think. No, he is starting his lap. He is starting his lap here. Let's see what he can do. Coming into turn 1 here. Gonna keep it nice and smooth here. Yep, make sure not to do track limits. Keeps it nice and smooth through turn 2. That is mighty, mighty impressive. It's hard to do. Speaking from experience, we have a couple cars going in the pits, maybe putting on another set of tires here. We have an Aston Martin coming across to complete his lap. Let's see what DP Roberts can do on his lap here. And it's P2 on the mediums with a 122.5. That is a very impressive lap on the mediums. Clearly someone who has the pace today, just off seeing that time on those mediums there. Let's see who else is coming across. We have the Alpine coming through Sector 3. The Tricky pretty much flat out through Sector 3, so you got to be careful. Oh, and his lap was invalidated there, so he is probably going to come back into the pits there. But we don't really have a lot of other cars on track. Most everyone is going into the pits here, so we're probably going to have a little bit of a lull moment. We do have a couple cars on outlaps, and that's RL Night Sky and Neutral Con. The Ferrari and the Alpine on outlaps there. One of the tricky things about this track is the overtaking. That we do have a long straight feeding out of turn 16 and into turn 1. However, with it being such high speed corners, overtaking will be a little bit difficult. So qualifying is going to be very, very important there. However, in a different race that I was commentating, I did see an Aston Martin go from P18 to I think P3, so I could be completely wrong about overtaking. We have the Red Bull and the Alpine starting their laps. We'll see what they can do as long as they keep it clean through Sector 1. That is going to be one of the problem sectors, especially the flowy turns of Turn 1 and Turn 2. Alpine keeps it pretty stable. The Red Bull behind him also keeping it stable. No invalidation of laps. The Alpine is keeping it nice and tight through Sector 2. Now we have this tight left-hander here that a lot of cars tend to flow out of and get track limits there, so it's good that he kept it nice and smooth there. But it looks like, yeah, the Red Bull did get his time invalidated there. I did not see where he did it, but he did get it invalidated there. Alpine coming through the third sector, he managed that flat-out sector pretty well, so as long as he manages turn 16, should be pretty good. Let's see what he can do as he makes his way onto the long front straight here. DRS open. And what can he do coming to the line here? That's P5. That's with a 123.2. Pretty impressive lap from the Alpine. It is on the soft tires compared to a couple other people up on their up with the Aston Martin of DP Roberts and the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Oddbod, both on the mediums on better times than him, but still an impressive lap. Those drivers who did go out on the intermediates, I have a very good guess that they will be going out again. It looks like RL Night Sky is trying to do another lap on those tires there. You know, it's hard to conserve ERS here, so you know we'll have to see how he does throughout the throughout. He does go purple in the first sector. He has a little bit of a moment coming. Let's see, I think that's coming out of turn 6 there, so that's going to really affect his time, and I think his ERS usage is also going to affect his time towards the end, especially in that third sector and on the long straight there. He doesn't get invalidated coming through turn 10, so that's good. I think that's where he got invalidated last time. See how he does coming through sector 3, the flat out, and he is purple in the second sector. Yeah, but see, that ERS is really low for him, so that's going to... Oh, and a big spin from him. A big spin from him. I imagine he is going to go straight into the pits. Those tires have to be screaming by the end of that. Yellow flags didn't affect the Aston Martin on his out lap, so that's going to be good for him as he starts his lap. Coming up to the DRS line. Opening nice and early there. I think we have an Alpine also starting. I think he might be on a flyer here. No, he is going into the pits here. A Williams behind him starting his lap, so seeing if he can improve his time. He doesn't believe he is safe. However, GSRL Alpha does believe he's safe. He is retired in the pits in Q1. Doesn't believe his time can be beaten, or doesn't believe he can be out in Q1. And I that is a safe bet for him. So through the flowy turn 1 and turn 2, keeps it nice and tight there. Coming through turn 3, let's see if we can get the car. Oh, that is a great job. Hitting those apexes coming along there of 4 and 5. Now the tricky turn 6, is he going to nail it pretty well? Doesn't flow out too much? Good. That is a good looking lap so far from the Williams. It doesn't look like he's going to go fastest, but this does look like a really good improvement for him as he comes through sector 2. Hits the apex well, does not flow out too much out of turn 10. Now he comes through the tricky turns of 12, 13, and 14. Pretty flat out here. Just want to make sure you don't go too wide, hitting those apexes really well. And he is doing a great job keeping that car under control. Now make sure not to spin like the Red Bull coming out of here. And as long as he doesn't flow out too wide coming out of turn 16, this lap is going to look really, really good for him as he comes up to the line for DRS. What is it going to be for CTS AV? That's going to be P5 for him. And it looks like we have a Haas starting their lap. Is that going to be, let's see. That's going to be typical G1849. Starting their lap. They initially did their lap on the intermediates. I'm guessing a little intermediate championship, so a little bit of fun and games between the Haas and the Ferrari driver. Let's see how he can do through the first sector here. The first sector, in my opinion, is actually one of the easiest. There's not a lot of tricky corners. I think, Sector 2 is honestly the most difficult in my opinion. Coming through turn 6, let's see if he keeps it nice under control. He did ride the curb a little bit too much, but I don't think it'll affect him that much. He was improved in the first sector, but he wasn't purple, so we'll see where he can go on his lap here. And ooh, that looked like he went off track a little bit. Let's see what he can do through the rest of his lap. As he comes through, once again, the tricky turns of 12, 13, and 14. It is purple in the second sector. That does have to feel good for him. As long as he can keep it good through turn 15 and 16, this should be oh, he had a little bit of a moment there. I don't think they'll call track limits on that. I think he slowed up enough to where I do not think they'll call it track limits. And Mr. Oddbod does retire. Let's see where the Haas can go, and it is P6. Yeah, definitely that moment really costed him coming out of turn 15. It looks like we have a Mercedes starting their flying lap here. And a Alfa Romeo of Leo coming through the third sector here. This turn 15 has been a struggle for some drivers. He keeps it nice and smooth, maybe running a little bit more downforce than the other drivers. As he comes through 16, doesn't get wide there, coming up to the DRS, opening it nice and smooth. See what he can do coming to the line there. And that's P3 for Leo. Now the Alfa Romeos both in the top 5 there. That's got to be a good feeling for both of them. Now as the time counts down, we are having a lot of drivers on track starting their outlaps, including let's see, Neutral Con. Alex 26C, who was at one point on provisional pole on those medium tires. We have Schmiffy in P14 starting his lap. Dan Matt and down in P15 on his outlap, and PRT Pistol starting his outlap. So for those bottom two, these laps are going to be crucial because they do not have any bankers in. So it's going to be one or done for these two drivers here. He does have his teammate behind me of Neutral Con. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of towing action there, but we'll have to see. It looks like Neutral Con did slow up there to maybe give his teammate some space there. Dan Matt did let that Alpine through. And as some drivers are coming over the line, let's see what they can do here. We have an Aston Martin coming over the line. I'm pretty sure he's starting his lap. We have the Haas of FIFA ZF1 starting his lap as well. And see, it looks like who was that invalidated there? I thought I saw someone invalidated. I guess not there. Let's see, so we have DP Roberts also on an outlap. He was on the medium tires, and now he is on the soft tires there. Looks like, yeah, he's just on an outlap there, so he's just trying to get to the line. A lot of drivers trying to stay out of the way so they don't get any impeding. This is going to be a really crucial lap for those bottom drivers. They definitely want to get out of Q1 there. And it looks like, do we have any drivers crossing the line? So we have Schmiffy crossing the line. Where can he go? Does he improve? And yes, he does. He does improve at the P10. Maybe not the best lap that he's done, but he does improve. We have an Aston Martin of, let's see, I think that's, no, that's DP Roberts crossing the line. What can he do? Oh, sorry, he's starting his lap. Apologies, he is starting lap. Oh, and Lanky Lucas, he is out, down in P14. As of right now, I believe he is safe. So, let's see what what happens here. And Alex 26C coming crossing the line here, and he goes up to P10. We have a Haas behind him coming up to the line. Oh, he was invalidated. That's a bummer. He is up in P9, but you never know what can happen here. It looks like the Red Bull of RL Night Sky, he believes he's safe, so he's not going to quite finish his lap. We have the Alpine up. I think that's Neutral Con coming up. Oh, no, it was his teammate, PRT Pistol. What can the other Alpine driver do of Neutral Con? He goes up to P11 there, and then we have the Haas of... I think that's the other Haas driver of FIFA's F1, and I think he thinks he's safe here. Yeah, Lanky Lucas, who did retire, I did not see if he had a crash or not, but he is out, and so is MAR Harry. So those are the two drivers out in Q1. And as we move towards Q2, our top drivers from Q1 are Judip. I apologize. DPR Roberts with a 121.8, Judip on a 121.9, and GSRL Alpha on a 122.1. Both all great laps from those guys there. And I do think that is everyone who has finished their laps there, so I think we should be moving on to Q2 momentarily. And yeah, so that is our the drivers who did make it through. Just want to make sure that this is a yeah. So the drivers that are out are Lanky Lucas 29 in the Mercedes and MAR Harry in the AlphaTauri. There is room to improve throughout the race, but I think that's just going to be a little bit of a kick in the pants for them, maybe to move up in the race. And I will be right back. I have to grab something. Apologies, everyone. I had to grab my notes for commentating here. So as of right now, as we start Q2, no drivers coming out of the pits right away. I don't see any action as of right now. Let me get everything set up for this as well. Looks like we do have a little bit of action. The drivers coming out of the pits are an AlphaTauri, both Alpines, and it looks like a lot of people are coming out of the pits right now. So that Alpine really trying to warm up his tires here. I don't think that most drivers have an issue with tire warming, but maybe just trying to get those tires in the right range before the lap started. I do know that there has been some overheating issues, at least in Grand Prix mode. I haven't heard anything from for multiplayer, but I do know these tires can get really warm on a circuit like this, so it is important to keep those tires in the right window or you will feel a lot of understeer. So we have the Alpine starting his lap. We have the we also have the Alpha Tauri of GSR Alpha starting his lap. He is leading this group. We have both Alpines coming across. The Williams of CTS AV starting his lap. The McLaren of Schmiffy, the Red Bull of RL Night Sky. It looks like the Mercedes of Vaxi GG. Both Aston Martins, and let's see, it looks like the Haas of, yeah, FIFA ZF1. We do still have a couple drivers in the pits, maybe just waiting so they don't have to deal with the traffic here. But GSRL Alpha is the driver that I want to watch because he was pretty much provisional pole on those medium tires and retired pretty early in the in Q1. So he is the driver I want to watch on those soft tires here. And he is going to put the first time on the board with a 122.8. And looks like both Alpines are pitting. Maybe they both had some issues throughout their laps. The next driver is the Williams of CTS AV. Maybe Avi, I'm not quite sure. And he goes P2, 1/10 off provisional pole for Q2. And the Alfa Romeo is starting their lap. Let's see what the McLaren of Schmiffy can do. That's provisional pole with a 122.7 in Q2. I need to stop calling it provisional pole. That's P1. And the Red Bull of RL Night Sky is 123.1. And then we have Vaxi GG with a 123.4. It looks like Alex26C goes fastest with a 122.559. So that is the lap to beat. FIFA ZF1 puts in a 123.7. That is probably not the best lap for him. Maybe he made a couple mistakes throughout the lap there. There is one driver. Oh, looks like the Red Bull of RL Night Sky may have spun on his cooldown lap, or maybe he was just trying to get out of the way. Not quite what you want to do with your tires there. And Leo is just out of ERS. Maybe he was trying to do 2 laps here, but yeah, he is just out of ERS, and I think that will really affect his lap, but he is going to go into the pits. Maybe he just forgot to turn it off on his out lap there. But that does scrub in the tires a little bit, helps it with heat, with temperature, but you want to keep those tires as fresh as possible. The drivers on out laps as of right now is PTR Pistol, Judip, and Mr. Oddbod. Mr. Oddbod also retired early in Q1 because he felt that he was safe, and Mr. Oddbod does invalidate his lap time, but he is on an out lap. Hopefully that doesn't affect his next lap. Doesn't look like it did because he's not going into the pits here. Let's see how he is going to start his lap here. And down mat 5, maybe his teammate got out of the way. Hopefully there was no impeding there between teammates. Let's see how he's doing through the second sector here. 54.5. It's not a bad second sector. Now he's the tricky third sector where it's flat out, and you want to make sure you're not invalidating. Coming through turn 15 here. Maybe a little bit of a oversteer moment coming out of 15 there. As he comes through turn 16, keeps it nice and smooth, gets on the power nice. And what can he do as he comes up to the line here? And that is a 122.5. That is P1 for Q2. His teammate starting his lap. So hopefully there's also no impeding between the two drivers there. Typical G is also on an out lap as well. He wasn't validated. Hope that doesn't impede. Oh, and typical G looks like he's on the intermediate tires. Little strains, especially midway through the through Q2. That might just be a tire glitch on my screen. I'm not entirely sure. If he goes purple in the second sector, I think we know it's a tire glitch here. Yeah, this does look like it. He's struggling a lot with heating, so I think he is just on the intermediate tires, just maybe trying to put a little competition within the other drivers, maybe. And PRT Pistol his lap was invalidated, so maybe he's only going to get one shot. And let's see what Judep is coming across the line. No teammate. His teammate wasn't holding him back as his teammate goes into the pits here. Keeps it nice and smooth coming out of turn 16 here. See what he can do coming up to the lap, or to the checkered flag here. It's going to be a 122.3, and the only other driver on a lap right now is Leo, who is on his out lap, and Typical G, who is still on those intermediate tires. His lap wasn't validated. I am just not sure what he is doing here. Getting a lot of oversteer coming out of 16. Those tires are going to be on fire. His time did not come in because it was invalidated, but yeah, so he is on the intermediate tires. I'm guessing he's going to go back into the pits, put on a fresh set of softs, and do a lap for real. See how Leo does in the first sector here. See what time he's rocking. 27.444. Not a bad first sector time. Obviously not the best, but he's going to want to keep that consistency as he comes through the sector 2. The very, in my opinion, medium speed corners. And then to the high-speed corner, coming right here. Yep, keeps it nice and smooth. Then he has the left-hander coming up to 11, 12, 13, and 14. Gonna keep it flat out here, no lift off. Keeps it nice and smooth. Probably running a lot of downforce here. As he comes through 15, as long as he doesn't spin or have a moment, this should be a decent lap for him. Let's see what he can do here. Coming through the final corner of turn 16. Ooh, that was close for invalidation. He is lucky. See what he can do coming up to the line here. That's going to be P8 with a 123.9. And yeah, not surprised. Typical G going into the pits here on those intermediate tires. Just, in my opinion, not a smart tire to go on when it is in dry conditions. Neutral Con does not have a time on the board. Let's see what he can do. He's going to have the Williams coming out of the pits here, it looks like. And the Williams is staying out of his way. That is a smart thing to do for that Williams there. See, so Neutral Con keeping it smooth through the first sector here. Let's see what he can do on those soft tires there. I can't quite tell if they're new tires or not. See what he can do as he comes through turn 4 and turn 5. What time is he going here? And it's a 27.3. And it looks like GSRL Alpha with a 121.9. First driver to break the 122s today. So this is going to be... That's going to be a difficult time to beat. I will imagine he will retire in the pits after that one. That is going to be a difficult time to beat there. Let's see what Neutral Con can do as he comes through the second sector. Purple in the second sector. That's got to feel good for him. Coming through 12, 13, and 14, keeping it nice and smooth here. As long as he doesn't have a moment coming out of 15. Nice and smooth. And then as he comes through 16, as long as he doesn't flow out too wide here. Great job coming out of 16. Now let's see what he can do coming up to the line here. He needs a pretty good lap with not a lot of time left in qualifying. That's P6 with a 122.8. I don't know if that's quite enough. He's going to be He's going to be hoping a lot of drivers can't beat that there, but there are drivers like Typical G, PRT Pistol, and Mr. Oddbot who still haven't set lap times. So we will see what he can do here. It looks like Vaxi GG on an outlap in that Mercedes. He is currently not safe with a 123.2. He's going to hope that he can put in a good lap here. It looks like the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Oddbot is starting his lap here. Or finishing it, I apologize, finishing it. And he goes up to P3 with a 122.3, and it looks like the Aston Martin behind him. Let's see, was that DP Roberts is starting his lap. He's going to have an Alpine as traffic in front of him. Let's ride on board, see if he... as long as nothing happens here with that Alpine in front of him. That Alpine's going to want to stay out of the way here. Do not want to get an impeding time unless that Alpine is on a lap here. Let's see. The PRT Pistol is not on a lap here, so hopefully he can get out of the way of DPR Roberts. As they come through, I think that's turn 6 here. DPR Roberts was purple in the first sector. Hopefully there's no impeding going into the second sector from this Alpine here. Maybe getting a little bit of dirty air coming from that Alpine, so hopefully that Alpine gets out of the way pretty quickly as DPR Roberts is coming up to him. And that Alpine does get out of the way, but there was a little bit of weaving coming down there. I would not call that a penalty at all, but I definitely think there was a little bit of weaving there. May have distracted DPR Roberts, but I bet that he is going to put this lap up pretty good. Let's see what he can do as he comes through turn 16 here. Flows out, no invalidation, and there it is. GSRL Alpha 123 has retired. He believes that he is safe. And DPR Roberts goes to the top of the times here, and he gets out of the way right away from that Alpine. I think that's what that Alpine should have done, in my opinion. It looks like there's an Aston Martin slowing up here, letting cars go through here. There is a Haas coming. Oh, that was a little cheeky there from Alex26C there. I do not know. Hopefully that Haas wasn't on a flying lap there, but that could have affected the start of this lap right now. So that was a little bit cheeky from the Aston Martin there. I wonder if there's going to be any reporting from, I think that might have been, it looks like that was Typical G there, especially from someone who doesn't have a lap in Q2, and this has got to be it, you know. This has got to be the lap to put it through, so I imagine that Typical G is not very happy about what Alex26C has done. And it looks like there is a Red Bull of the RL Night Sky coming through to start his flying lap with only 20 seconds in qualifying. That is cutting it mighty close, good sir. It looks like the other Alpine of PRT Pistol, he has not set a time, so this is going to be a crucial time for him here. What can he do as he comes up to the line? And he goes P3. I think that'll be enough for him here. Typical G coming through the third sector there with that Aston Martin in front of him. Let's see what this Aston Martin can do. He has no ERS left as he comes through here. He did not have a lot of ERS as he started his lap, so you know he's gonna feel those effects there. And qualifying is over, and Alex26C does not improve, but Typical G does improve, and there are drivers on laps behind him, including drivers like Schmiffy here. What can Schmiffy do? And he has knocked out Typical G from Q2. Yeah, I will imagine that Typical G will not be happy with what happened with Alex26C. Looks like RL Night Sky, he's coming up to finish his lap. What can he do here? He's the last driver to come across the line. And he goes P2, knocking Dan 5 out of there. Mr. Oddbod. Wow, that was close for him. He retired. Wow, that is mighty close for him to be retiring that like that. your top drivers of the session are DPR Roberts, RL Night Sky, and GSRL Alpha. And the drivers that have been knocked out are DanMat5, Alex26C, FIFA ZF1, and Typical G1849, and Neutral Con523. If this was an actual F1 race, you'd see the drivers. We'll discuss this after qualifying. I think that is going to be God. That is good. I know I'm staying on that a lot right now, but I've been in both positions before, and it is just not a fun feeling on either side, you know. So as we start Q3 here, DP Roberts did top the session, so I think he's going to definitely want to try and do the same here in Q3. And this is the top 10 shootout, so uh, you know everything's up to play here. You know, all the way from DP Roberts all the way down to Mr. Oddbod there. I guess Royal Night Sky is on the timing screen is top of the session, but um, yeah. So it looks like we have a Ferrari coming out, and that's going to be the Ferrari of I think it's Judep. I feel really bad if I'm saying that wrong, but I think it's Judep. So he is gonna. I'm pretty sure all of the laps that you're gonna see are gonna be banker laps, because I can't imagine that these drivers are gonna want to put in their best laps right away. Track evolution. EA has not always gotten track evolution right. Sometimes, there could be a 4 second difference between the start of qualifying and the end of qualifying, but at least I've seen that in career mode. But it's I think they're starting to get it right here. So maybe track evolution is starting to fit into the game here. So I don't think their best laps we're gonna see is at the beginning of qualifying here. And Judah, just once again, just making sure those tires are in the right working order there. Let me make sure I can get everything up. I don't know why it gets rid of it every time. Okay. So as the Ferrari of Judah comes through the final sector, in his mind, he's getting ready for this lap. He's thinking about his braking zones, thinking about where he wants to start his DRS, making sure he got the DRS activation correctly. And as he comes through the final corner here of turn 16, his DRS is open. And I want to make a comment because I just saw in the comments. Yes, I do have notes. And if I had my camera on right now, I'd show you what it is. It's literally just a track map and where the drivers qualified, just so that I can keep that in mind as the race progresses. And I know where all the turns are, but it's not like David Crofty notes or anything like that. I don't have someone behind the scenes giving me all the stats yet, but maybe one day, maybe one day. Oh, that Williams came out of nowhere and on my screen. And let's see, so Judah was purple in the first sector, however, he is the first car to come across the line, so I imagine he'll be purple in second and purple in the third sector. So, yeah, so let's see as he brings it nice and tight coming through. I think that's turn 10, and then the fast right-handers of 12, 13, and 14 here. Does it flow out too wide? No invalidations. And nothing coming out of turn 15 here. Nope, keeps it nice and tidy there. And the last tricky corner, turn 16. Don't want to flow out too wide there. And he comes up, activates the DRS, and he comes down the main straight. What can he do here on his first flying lap? And that's a 121.4. Now that is an amazing lap. That is a great, great, great lap. I really think he pushed it there. Leo with a 122.4 and PRT Pistol with a 125. GSRL Alpha, not the best lap, but 123.2. And if we look at the leader times here, yeah, GSRL Alpha is 1.8 seconds off the lead here. I'm guessing that that was on very much used soft tires, but everyone is out on track right now. Everyone's either on an in lap or a hot lap, so there may be some impeding going on. As we ride on board with RL Night Sky, he looks like he was purple in the first sector, so that is going to be a good feeling for him. He's going to want to carry that as he goes to the second and third sector. In my opinion, you know, like I said before, the first sector is pretty easy to nail, so you know, these second and third sectors, you got to get them right if you want to go fastest here. Let's see what he can do here as he comes through 12, 13, and 14. Nails it pretty well. I don't think he was purple. And he gets invalidated. That is just not a good feeling there. You know, knowing that you were purple in the first sector there, that's just not a good feeling. And let's see. So DP Roberts also on a flying lap. CTS AV on a flying lap. And looks like Vaxi GG, who's on the medium tires, his lap was invalidated. So we'll ride on board with DP Roberts, whose teammate was knocked out in Q2, may be receiving a penalty, so just want to keep an eye out for that. As he comes through turn 15, and yeah, there's the invalidation there. That is a very, very tricky corner there, and it looks like CTS AV may have accidentally turned on his ERS too early, because it looks, maybe he just didn't, his lap was invalidated. And yeah, I'm not surprised that Vaxi GG is coming into the pits to put on a set of softs for the last part of qualifying. I would imagine that CTS AV is going into the pits. Yep. So we're gonna have every driver into the pits here as we have a little bit of a lull moment, and we can all take a deep breath before the final shootout. Now, only 6 drivers have put in laps. All the other drivers were either invalidated or maybe had a spin we didn't quite see on the other drivers. So as we move towards the final part of qualifying, Judip, I feel really bad if I'm saying that wrong, but Judip is on provisional pole position with a 121.4. That's going to be a difficult time to beat for drivers like Mr. Oddbod, GSRL Alpha, you know, RL Night Sky. You know, those drivers we've all seen top the session. So I think it's going to be the top 5 is all going to be separated by not a lot. I think it's just going to be a very close margin between the top 5. And it doesn't look like there is a lot of movement here. I'm actually just watching the Discord right now because it's kind of funny. Okay, I was told it's just Jude. Thank you, thank you, Carl. Carl Dalfin. I'm reading it as I see it. So, Jude, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not familiar with Tier 6. This is my first time commentating on them. So I appreciate all the help. So no movement quite. Oh, it looks like the Williams of I think that might be CTS AV coming out. Yes, it is. So he is going out first. He's going to be the first driver across the line for the shootout. He has not set a lap in, so maybe he overfueled a bit to maybe get in some 2 laps. And no other real movement in the pit lane here as we venture back over there. Yeah, no real movement. So CTS AV is going to have his probably going to have some clear air here as we clock down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in Q3. And the Mercedes of Vaxi GG is moving out. DPR Roberts is moving out as well onto his outlap. And no other real movement. That's kind of surprising. I would imagine you want to get out a little bit earlier to maybe, if you make a mistake, you can, maybe start another lap. But yeah, so CTSAV is going to be coming around the final sector, like I said before, just preparing for his laps, or for this one lap. You want to get in that right mind, even if it is virtual racing. You want to get in that right mind for these laps here. And as he comes through turn 16, I'm guessing he's going to click on his ERS. Yep, there it goes. And he comes through turn 16, keeps it nice and smooth to start his lap here. DRS activated, and he's gonna, looks like he's got a little bit of traffic maybe coming out of the pit lane. Nope, he is not gonna have to deal with that. That is good. That's good for him. He's gonna have clear air throughout his entire lap. Won't have to worry about invalidation, so now it is all on him. He comes through the first sector here. What can he do with his time? And he goes purple in the first sector. That's still a good feeling, I know I say the first sector is the easiest, but when you can nail that first sector, it's a good feeling here. And it looks like all drivers will now be out on track to start their laps. CTSAV will be the first driver across the line to set their times, and those drivers coming out of the pits now, they got to haul. Excuse my French, but they got to haul ass to the checker. It looks like the Aston Martin and the Mercedes are starting their laps, so we'll venture on over. And what can the Williams do? Oh, he was invalidated. That is not a good feeling there, and he is not going to have enough time to put in another lap. So if all the other drivers set times, he's going to be starting P10. He's got to have his hands in his face there. And so DPO Roberts coming through the first sector. He was purple in the first sector. I wasn't able to see if the Mercedes behind him was purple, but he is purple in the first sector here. I think, yeah. So he is the next driver to cross the line with a time, because CTSAV was not able to put in a time because his lap was invalidated. Purple in the second sector. Awesome job for DPR Roberts. What can he do as he has that Mercedes almost chasing him, pushing him across the line? You make a mistake, and that Mercedes might just take that position from you. Coming through turn 16 here, what can he do as he crosses the line? DRS open. Oh, it's like suspense. I love waiting for this moment here. Oh, and he just did not nail that last sector. God, that is a bummer. And he goes P3, 2/10 off provisional pole here, and the checkered flag is waved, so everything else. And Vaxi GG is 6/10 off the pace here. We have the Williams coming into the pits here, but he is not going to be able to start another lap. This is it for him here. And it looks like he just tried to put it together. Something. Oh, and he went P6. The Alpine of PRT Pistol. What can he do? And he is only up to P8. The McLaren of Schmiffy behind him up to P4. We have an Alfa Romeo coming up to, Mr. Oddbod. His lap was invalidated. He's P2, so right now he is looking pretty right now. Pretty, huh? English going, come on. Alpha Tower coming up to the line here. He's a second, 1.8 seconds off, and he goes P2 for GSRL Alpha 1, 2, 3. That's got to feel mighty good for him. Jude coming across the line. He is on provisional pole. Can he improve his time? And yes, he can. What an impressive time of the 121.1. I gotta clap it up for him. That's an impressive time there. DPR Roberts coming across the line. I don't think, he is not. It doesn't look like he's pushing that hard. His ERS is counting back up. He just wants to cross the finish line on his own terms. And that is Q3 for you there. With Jude on on pole position with a 121.1. GSRL Alpha, who looked pretty decent throughout, qualifying here, 3/10 off the pace in qualifying. That's got to feel good for Jude. I feel really bad. I hate doing this because I don't want to pick a driver to quote unquote give the curse to, because I know that if I pick a driver that wants to win, the curse is going to happen, and it's just not gonna be fun. Um, but GSRL Alpha has looked quick. He is starting on P2. He has that. I think he has the inside. Yeah, he has the inside line going into turn one. Um, I haven't seen any long running pace, so um, God, I don't know. I feel really bad for whoever I pick because I know they're just gonna like spin in turn one. They're gonna blow their car to pieces going into turn one. Um, I think I'm gonna stick with my original response. GSRL Alpha 1, 2, 3. I think they got a good shot at winning this. They were pretty quick throughout all of qualifying. So I'm gonna pick him here. And as we move on to the race, tire degradation is pretty high here. So I imagine we're gonna see the medium tires and the hard tires. We'll see if anyone gets pissed for them readying up. But as we take a moment to breathe here, if you are a Sky Sports or a Sky Plus or a Sky Glass member, make sure to press that red button on your remote to review any of the highlights that you've seen here today. I am just kidding. We are not sponsored by Sky Sports. And if you have a remote for your TV, don't press the red button. But I just really wanted, I've never got to say that, and I've really wanted to say that. And there are no highlights for this right now, so after the stream has ended. So as we go through this, we're going to talk about the winners and the losers of turn one. For anyone who's curious, I have the chat open on my computer. Oh, and we go to 5 red lights. Wow, I was distracted. And the lights are gone. What can we do? It looks like Jude gets a good start here. GSR Alpha going up on the hard tires up the inside here. What can he do? And it looks like he's going to retain. Oh, no. Jude has that inside. Oh, and there's some damage behind there. It looks like Mr. Oddbod. Oh, and the Alpine was spun around there. Neutral Con, it looks like both of them have penalties here. Neutral Con is missing his front wing there, and Schmiffy. Oh, there was contact between GSR Alpha and. How did Schmiffy just take the lead of this? Sorry, I need to get everything up here. Oh my god. What just happened? And Jude is down in P14. GSR Alpha is down in P8. I wish I had a replay button. What just happened? Schmiffy took the lead on that. He has a penalty. Let's see what penalty he has. Oh, and he has a drive-through penalty. Did he jump the start? I think he may have jumped the start here. So Leo is the man on who will take for first position when all this is settled. Will he come into the pits right away, Smithy? And yeah, he does. He's going to come right in the pits, take his drive-through right away. Neutral Con also has a drive-through penalty as well. I did not see what I think they may have jumped the start, because that's really the only time you get a drive-through penalty there. Leo takes the lead there on the medium tires. Let me pull up the tires as well, actually, so you guys can see that. Wow, let's all just take a deep breath from that for a second. It looks like there's a lot of squabbling going on here. All right, everybody, take a deep breath. Lap one's completed. We can all stop hiding under our desks right now. That was. I wish I could see what happened. I hope I can see the clips later, because I have no idea what just happened there. That is. Yeah, that is heartbreaking for those drivers there. So, DPR Roberts is chasing Leo, but he's on those hard tires, so I think Leo needs to take advantage of those medium tires and pull away from DPR Roberts. Alex 2060 also on the hard tires, chasing FIFA Z, who is out of DRS range. However, DRS does not start till lap 3. only have one DRS zone that's going down the main straight, so really we'll get DRS on the start of lap 4, if that makes sense. As we come through turn 16 here, I think all the drivers have started to calm down a bit and take their positions in this race, but it looks like there's a little bit of fighting. Jude is just, oh god, I feel so bad for Jude right now. He works so hard to get that pole position, and I feel that personally. I had an incident like that in Austria. I had pole position and just lost a bunch of places. So, I've been there, Jude. I feel it. One of the issues of this Thursday race is we're gonna have a lot of time penalties. We had a lot of time penalties in oh, did we have a spin? Yes, we did, of TTV Vaxi GG. That is gonna be costly for him here. He's lost most of the pack here. It looks like Neutral Khan is coming into the pits here. Is he retiring from this race here? I'm going to come back to him in a minute as we go up. Are we going to see the Ferrari drivers swap positions here? Yep, and there is our first time penalty. Yep, and they do swap positions there. They gave each other great teamwork. You don't usually see that very often. So great teamwork. Dan Matt 5 just lets his teammate through. He knows he's faster. He's on the better tire. Let's all give a little bit of applaud to Dan Matt 5 playing the team game. Just do a little golf clap, for Dan Matt 5. As we move our way up through the front of the pack. Oh, are we going to see an overtake here from PRT Pistol here? And we do see the rear flaps open here. 3 wide going into turn 1. Oh, God, I can't watch. Oh, God, I hate seeing that, seeing stuff like that, because, that's just how drivers, get DNF from this race here. So, it looks like Neutral Khan went into the pits. I wonder if he had another drive-through penalty. I don't think he did, but, I have a feeling he's going to... Oh, and yeah, Vaxi GG is going to retire from this race in the pits here. He just does not feel good about that there. Leo has kind of kept his lead from DPR Roberts. DPR Roberts is pretty fast when he's able to maintain the gap between Leo on harder tires. So... we are seeing FIFA Z F1 on the rear end of Mr. Oddbod, both on the same compounded tires, so I think FIFA Z is going to want to maybe make an overtake going down into turn 1 here as they come through the final sector. And there's a little bit of action going on behind him. Alex 26C, he has an Alpine all over his gearbox there. And the Alpine will have DRS along with GSRL Alpha, who's just trying to make up positions from what he lost here. And is FIFA Z going to make the move? He is not there. But GSRL Alpha 123 is back up into P6. He is going to do everything he can to reclaim the positions he left. Well, I will say this. Even though GSRL Alpha 123... I'm going to start calling him GSRL Alpha. GSRL Alpha 1... God. Even though I gave him the prediction to win, I still think, he's kind of got the pace for it. Obviously a Saturday pace is different from a Sunday pace, but, if he could just stick this tire strategy together and make sure the tires don't overheat, I think he's still got a chance for at least a podium. And if we move our way up to Leo here, he's got to have his hands in his face right now. He has got a 3-second time penalty for track limits, especially with DP Roberts, trailing behind him. Essentially, DP Roberts is P1 with penalties right now. So Leo's kind of got his. I bet he's got his hands in his face right there, and just he's like, oh god, come on guys. It's a 29 lap race. You got to make sure that car is within track limits for 29 laps. That's a hard ask, especially on a track like this with a lot of flowing corners. And it looks like Alex 26C is going to make a move on MER Hair. We got a great view of it from the helicopter here as they come through turn 2. Is there going to be a fight back with it? I do not think so. Looks like we have a yellow flag in Sector 3 there. I think that's the other Mercedes of Lanky Lucas, 29 there. His teammate out and a 3-second time penalty for CTS Avi. Who's down in P13, not in point scoring positions right now, but you never know as this race progresses. One of the things we did see in Tier 2 was safety cars, so definitely the opportunity for safety cars is there, and DPR Roberts is on the gearbox of Leo, and I think Leo knows it. I wonder if he will fight him going into turn 1. I wonder if he'll put his hands up, be like, yep, there you go, DPR Roberts, you know, you're quicker than me, let me just stick behind you, you know, recharge my ERS and maybe save some fuel here. As they go through turn 16, let's right on board with DPR Roberts here. Let's see what he can do. He sees that flashing lights. Is he going to make a move? It looks like he's got a lot of space to do it. Yeah, Leo is not going to fight it. Has a little look down the outside, but he knows that he would just outbrake himself there, and he would be off onto the gravel, so... as we look back, it looks like there's a little bit of fighting going on with the, looks like the Haas and the Alpine of the Triple G and PRT Pistol. No other penalties as of right now. There were a couple of drive-throughs, which, you know, a little heartbreaking, but it is what it is. We have one retirement from this race, and that's Baxi GG had a spin. I actually might think he had a drive-through penalty. Yeah, so we have one retirement, retired in the pits, so no safety car. Let's see, as we look at the track map here, see if there's any other, you know, interesting things going on, or am I going to have to continue to talk out of my butt here? I'm trying to be a little bit PC, because I know we're on Twitch. And the Ferrari of Jude is on the gearbox of Alex26C, and I think he just wants to, you know, make do with him and see if he can start catching that Alpine and that Haas in front of him. And Alex26T is playing some mind games. Letting Jude go first, and then he takes the DRS and overtakes him. And it looks like maybe the Alpha Tower might have a look, and he's gonna think twice about it and go slot back in behind the Ferrari. That is just... I'm sorry. It's a smart play from Alex, but at the same time, like, yeah, there's no real need for it. There really isn't a need for it. So, as we're looking on the track map here, not a lot of interesting stuff going on as of right now. Leo is staying within DRS range of DPR Roberts, so he's just probably just conserving fuel, conserving ERS, and you know, just sticking behind him here, just trying to get to those pit stop phases without binning it into the wall. I think one of the big issues with the pit stop phases is gonna be the pit limiter, because you come off turn 16 and you floor it, and then you hit the brakes almost immediately. So, you know, I think we might see some 5-second time penalties here for speeding in the pit lane. So just I want everybody to brace themselves for that. And a 3-second time penalty for Dan Matt 5, the other Ferrari who let his teammate through. I hope he didn't get a time penalty for letting his teammate through. And there is a little bit of weird stuff going on in the looks like the third sector between RL Night Sky and CTS AV. I have no idea what's going on, but Jude finally gets his overtake that he wanted. No cheeky business. And let's see if he can push on here. He doesn't have a lot of ERS, and Harry gets a time penalty as well. I wonder if CTS AV is going to maybe retire or no. Actually, I think they were on the soft tires there. Lanky Lucas gets another time penalty. I think that makes it 6 seconds for him. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's 6 seconds. 6 seconds for Harry as well. Leo, Dan Matt, and CTS 80 still on their 3 seconds, so if they can keep it here, I think they might have a good chance. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. Who was it? Was it? Oh, it looks like the other Alfa Romeo, the Oddbot. Oh, thank God he is ghosted because I saw him on track and I. Oh, that's always a scary moment when you have a car on track and they're not ghosted and you have nowhere to go. Uh, I think he probably spun. That would be my guess. But look who is up into P4, and that is GSRL Alpha and Jude down in P7. So good on both of those guys. You know, just trying to chug along, just trying to bring back any sanity in their race that they can. It looks like we have a good little overtake from typical G here on GSRL Alpha. Those medium tires still staying intact for him, so oh, it looks like we have a car stopped on track, and that's RL Night Sky, and the safety car is out. I wonder if he had a little bit of a moment. I want to see if... Oh, it is cleared already. I wanted to see if he put it into the wall. So if we all take a deep breath here, I'm guessing the medium runners are going to be pitting here. And maybe even the hard tire runners, so we will have to see here. Lanky Lucas is going into the pits here. He's on the hard tires. I wonder what he will put on here. And if we all take a deep breath, relax, the safety car is out. Let's just all take a deep breath, shall we? Alright, I'm gonna drink my Red Bull here. It's giving me a little more energy to finish this. And yeah, DPR Roberts is coming into the pits here. I wonder what he's going to put on here. We're going to ride on board with him into the pits here. Stop early, stop early, stop early. Okay, whew. Thank God. Watch for penalties here. Come on, guys. No penalties. No penalties. Oops. No penalties coming into the pits? You know, gotta hand it to everybody. Gotta hand it to everybody. Good job. And DPR Roberts goes on to the medium tires. PTR Pistol retains, or not retains, takes P1 of this race. I think, hopefully that's not a lapped car. Oh, is that a lapped car? Is he gonna let his teammate through? He's gotta do it quick before the other runners get there. Is he going to let his teammate through? That's the question here. No, he is not going to let his teammate through. Come on, Alvin, guys. You gotta at least let your teammate through. Maybe he's trying to create a little bit of a buffer between DPR Roberts, but DPR Roberts is going to have that I keep calling him DPR Roberts. It's DP Roberts. Apologies. DP Roberts. There we go. We'll have the fresh tire. So, there's not much of a buffer you can do. And I don't know why PTR Pistol didn't pit under... Wow. Typical G gets a 3-second time penalty under safety car. I'm sorry. What? How do you not... I'm sorry. How do you not keep it within track limits? Under safety car. Just my 2 cents. Maybe go a little bit slower. And there's no time penalty. I know that sounds very demeaning, but still. So, once again, everybody just take a deep breath. We currently have 19 viewers. It's more than my Twitch channel. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, but I'm not salty about it. You know, if anyone has any predictions for how this race is going to end, put it in the chat. Who do you want to win? Maybe I think that's the better question of who do you want to win. And I'll go back and check that at the end. See if you got your driver to win. So if anybody has any predictions or who they want to win, put that in chat. I'll go and check that later. So if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was, I would guess that the safety car will be in this lap if Lanky Lucas can catch up to the safety car. So as we come through Sector 1 here, every driver has pit onto new tires except for PRT Pistol. He might be on maybe he's on a different strategy here, but maybe trying to extend those hard tires to maybe put on some softs to the end. But yeah, so we'll see what all these drivers can do. We can take another deep breath here, lean back in our chairs as the safety car commences. We'll have a quick moment of silence while I catch my breath. And that is why I'm not a betting man, because safety car is doing another lap around here. As far as I know, the damage is clear, but this is just helping the medium runners here. Just more laps under safety car here. Oh, come on, guys. No predictions in chat? I can see that there's 21 viewers. At least someone's got to have a prediction here. Come on, give me some content here. We're under safety car. And, safety car. Lanky Lucas for the win down in P14. And, DP Roberts for the win here. As we'll take a look at the safety car, essentially the safety car leader right now, and that's going to be PRT Pistol. And we'll have a quick moment before he starts to go. And he is... Oh. Ugh. God, I hate that. Josh says Mr. Odd. Oh, and we are away. His teammate... He's going to let his teammate through, maybe play some defense for his teammate there. His teammate's going to go through, but his teammate is under blue flag, so he's got to be careful there, because... You don't want to get a penalty for ignoring blue flags. But PRT Pistol, going through the first corner, I don't think there was any, Oh, whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! GSRL Alpha just absolutely punted off, and it looks like we have PRT Pistol. Oh, God. I don't know how there is not a safety car after that. But DPR Roberts maintains the lead. Jude, back the pole sitter back up in the P2 on hard tires. Wow. I think that's KZ13. Yeah, you were mighty accurate with that one there. You know, as I say, safety cars breed safety cars, or in this case, safety cars breed collisions. I'm going to go back eventually, and I'm going to clip that moment that I saw GSR Alpha go from the left side of my screen to the right side of my screen in about a half a second. That was interesting. Looks like CTS AV makes up a position on Schmiffy there. Neutral Con finally unlaps himself from the retired GSRL Alpha there. And let's all take another deep breath, because that was insane. Oh, and it looks like Jude's teammate of Dan put it into the gravel there, and so did CTS AV, maybe spun him around there. Oh, and it looks like we have another. Who was that? An Alpine, I think. Oh, it's the Alpine of Neutral Con. Yeah, he knows his race is over. He's gonna retire. But it's both Aston Martins. PRT Pistol with a 3-second time penalty. I don't agree with that because I'm pretty sure he's just trying to get back on track there. Dan Mat 5, PRT Pistol, and CTS AV all kind of caught up in the kind of the same area there. But DPR Roberts leading from Jude, but Jude will have DRS as of right now, but DRS won't be activated until next lap. No, it is this lap. It is this lap. I'm pretty sure. He's on those hard tires. He just wants that, he wants that position back there. And the commentator curse still exists. I said GSRL Alpha is going to win it, and he is now DNF'd when he went from one side of my screen to the other in about a half a second. So I apologize, GSRL Alpha. Yeah, I apologize. DPR Roberts leading this race on the medium tires with Jude, the pole sitter, just kind of sticking behind him, only about 8/10 behind him here as they go through the second sector. The second sector actually reminds me of, now I know a lot of you British people are going to make fun of me for the way I say it, but I think it's Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone, that left, right, left. That reminds me, that Sector 2 of Qatar reminds me a lot of that, so. Oh, and DPR Roberts goes way wide. I can imagine he got a time penalty, or not a time penalty, a warning for that one. That was way wide out there. He was trying to go into the pits after that one there. But not a lot of movements. Not a lot of movement, apologies. Not a lot of movement right now. Looks like Schmiffy's going to make a go for P8 here, and PTR Pistol gets another time penalty. My God. So he has 6 seconds, CTS AV has 6 seconds, Dan Matt has 3, Lanky Lucas has 6, Leo has 3, Harry has 6, FIFA Z has 3, Typical G has 3, but the current podium finishers, have no time penalties on or to their name right now, so let's just hope they can keep that up for the next 13 laps. I think 13 laps to go, so I'm having people in the comments saying that's Maz in the comments saying that Jude will win this. So that's his prediction here, but he also said that that's depressing, so As we go through the final sector here, turn 15, we're a couple laps from the safety car restart. Let's go through the winners and losers of the safety car restart. Now we have to say right off the bat, GSRL Alpha, definitely the biggest loser of that safety car restart. The big winners of this entire race is Harry in the Alpha Tauri, Typical G in the Haas, Alex 26 in the Aston Martin, and DPR Roberts also in the Aston Martin. Those are the big winners for this race in the safety car restart. However, Alex might have a penalty hanging over his head later on after the race, and it looks like PTR Pistol is pitting. Oh, that's right, he didn't pit off the safety car. I was like, that is a very strange time to pit. Let's see, I think did he put on a set of soft tires? Oh, no, the mediums. Okay. He's got all those drivers from, I'm going to say, Lanky Lucas all the way down to PTR Pistol. They're just hoping someone bins it and brings out the safety car. And that, God, looks like Mr. Oddbod bins it coming out of, I think that's turn 10? Yeah, I think that's turn 10. Let me look at my notes real quick. Yes, that is turn 10 here. But I keep wanting to say DPR Roberts. Apologies, DP Roberts. Uh, maintaining that lead. He's got a sec. Oh, there's a lot of action going on. Sorry, I completely missed that. It looks like FIFA is making a move for the podium position. However, he does have a 3-second time penalty on him here. If I was Alex, I would just sit behind him. Just sit behind him. Let him make the mistakes. You know, put him under pressure and just say that ERS because I can see it, and that is at 6%, buddy. Come on. You are flashing. Let's take a look back at Jude up here. He's kind of in a little bit of an island right now. He's 4 seconds ahead of FIFA Z and, you know, about 2 seconds back from DPR Roberts. He is kind of in this little island right now. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he's got at least 18 points to his name right now. So, you know, I was kind of, you know, in the back of my head, I was kind of hoping, you know, maybe the pole sitter might get it, but DP Roberts looks really, really fast. So it's looking like an Aston Martin win today. The Haas of FIFA Z has broken away in 1 lap from Alex 26, and he is just getting swallowed up by the cars behind him, and that's typical G. Harry, and even Schmiffy wants a piece of this, but did he push the Alpha Tauri off track? That looked a little cheeky there. Oh, and there is I wouldn't call it a big accident, but that is... I do not know who started that. I looked away for like a quarter of a second. God, I'm always looking away at the worst times. Come on. And PRT Pistol gets another time penalty. And Schmiffy kind of took advantage of that. He took advantage of the ghosting of the other 2 cars and went right through there. Maybe he can make up a position here. And Alex 26, he is just not really having the best of days right now. He knows that maybe there's a penalty hanging over his head. Now let's go on board with Leo here, who is down in P7, trying to attack Harry here. Gonna have DRS as of right now, coming down the main straight. So let's just go on board with him and have a run through this lap. Okay, I know the Ferrari engine is kind of doo-doo, but when you ride on board, God, that is an amazing sounding engine. I love the sound of the Ferrari engine. I think a lot of people will agree with that. They got the Ferrari engine down perfectly in this game. It's just a great sound. And a lot of people are flashing lights on their ERS here. I wish I could see fuel loads. I think, oh, that is, oh. Yeah, I don't think we're going to comment on that one. I think that speaks for itself there. Lanky Lucas just retires. That's just an... Oh, and a safety car. Wow. Alright, everyone, take a deep breath here. If you're in the Discord, go take a look at it. It's kind of funny. So everyone just kind of take a deep breath here as the safety car comes out of the pit lane and is in turn 2 right now. And I think it's going to go all the way up to turn 4. Wait for Jude. Oh, whoa, whoa. I didn't. Sorry, I thought Jude took the lead there. Oh, he did. I do not know what just happened there. And he's going to come out in... Oh, wow. Did he come out in front of him? Yeah, he came out in front of DP Roberts. Let's see, is everyone putting on the soft tire? Let's take a look over the... Yeah, everyone is putting on the soft tires except for Schmiffy. Maybe he didn't have a set of softs, and yeah, everyone is just going to be coming into the pits here. Yeah, Milking Beaufort, I think everyone except for Schmiffy here is going to be going on to soft tires here. Now let's all just take a deep breath as the cars form up here. And CTS AV going on used mediums, I think. Nope, soft tires. I apologize. And soft tires for PRT pistol. So as the cars form up with the safety car currently coming through turn 7 here, the drivers who haven't formed up are Dan Matt 5, Mr. Oddbod, CTS AV, and PRT pistol. But I'm guessing there's going to be some ERS conserving here. You know, just I think it's going to be probably a 4-lap dash to the end. And as everyone knows, safety cars cause collisions, which in turn bring out more safety cars. But I think after this one, there will not be another safety car with the amount of laps remaining. So let's all just take a deep breath, a moment of silence, sit back in your chair, and I'm gonna hide everything, and we are just gonna watch as Jude sits behind the safety car, and we're gonna just relax for a minute. So as the safety car animations now commence, I'm going to read you off some facts about Qatar as we wait. Apparently, Qatar is the wealthiest country in the world. It is also the safest country in the world. I call BS, but this is coming from Global Castaway. It's a blog, apparently. Qatar is not really good for hikers, and there are no trees. They have a giant teddy bear at the airport. Kind of want to go see it. And a 100-meter long buffet. Yes, please? Qataris, that's what they call people from Qatar. Qataris are city folk. And I don't want to say this last one because I can't tell if that's racial or not. So I'm going to leave that be. 7 facts about Qatar you probably didn't know. Qatar is located between the sea and the desert. The name Qatar comes from Qatara, which according to the tradition, it refers to the ancient city of Zabruda, which is one of the most important trade ports in the region. The history of Qatar is 1,000 years old. More than half the Qatar's population is foreign born. Interesting. And yes, Smoking Buffer, you are right. It is originally made for MotoGP, that's why it is so narrow. I hope you enjoyed those facts presented by Overtaker RB, your live commentator for Tier 6 here. Let's move on here as we'll pull back up the UI here. As Jude takes these cars to turn 16 as the safety car pulls in here. Everyone hold their breath because there's guaranteed there's going to be some accidents. And wow, Jude gets a great exit away from DP Roberts here. He was not expecting that there. Let's move back here. I'll move back here, see if we can get some action. Looks like everyone's making it through turn 1 okay. Mr. Oddbod makes a pass for the points here, but CTS 80 is not having any of it here. And everyone's made it through the first sector okay. At least, don't jinx myself. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't mess that up. I said that early. I said it early. Make it through the first sector, then you can crash. Everyone's made it through the first sector okay. Alright, I was right. And right as... And Alex 26 has spun around. I wonder if he was spun around there. I mean, I wasn't wrong. They made it through the first sector all right. And Jude is holding his lead okay. He's 0.8 in front of DP Roberts here. With, let's see, it looks like it's 5 laps to go. So it's going to be essentially a 5-lap sprint. That's all this is right now. And he's coming through turn 15. Doing pretty all right. He is using a little bit of ZRS and a lot more than DP Roberts here. So he's going to use that coming down the main straight here. I guess the straight here. That's just trying to pull away from DP Roberts here, who has been quick all weekend. In my mind, I'm kind of rooting for Jude right now because he has fought back from adversity. He has fought back from adversity, people. From pole position to pretty much almost down to last place to now back fighting for this position here. Schmiffy, as of right now, will retain a podium position here. So he needs to just stick behind FIFA Z and just stick on his tail. I think he only has 3 seconds of penalties. 3-second penalties. So he needs to just stick there. He can let it go a little bit, but realistically, he wants to stay there. And Jude is coming through turn 10 here as he makes his way up towards turn 11, which in my opinion is not a turn. It's just a continuation of turn 10, but no. My opinion doesn't matter. And there is a gap forming between the 2 Alfa Romeos of Mr. Oddbod and Leo. Definitely a big gap, and I think Leo will be exposed after this lap when DRS is activated. And Jude coming through the final turn, just keeping it nice and easy. And Schmiffy gets a time penalty. Now he's going to have to fight for that position. He is going to have to fight for that position here, and FIFA knows it. Because before he was just trying to pull away from him, and Schmiffy was just trying to, stay there. But I think maybe Schmiffy got in the dirty air of FIFA and just brought it and put it too wide here. On my screen, we're having an ad. I do not like ads, people. One thing you'll learn about me, I do not like ads. See? This stream can be informative. I was reading you guys facts about Qatar, and now you guys are learning facts about Overtake or RB. So, you can go to your mom or your dad, and you can tell them the facts that you learned today, and it looks like that might be PRT Pistol. That might have had a little no, it's CTS 80. He has retired from this race. He is just done with everything here. Jude is pulling away from DP Roberts here, currently over a second, so he's out of DRS range here, and he wants to keep pulling out that range here, or out that time. It's 1.2 seconds, and he's actually under threat from FIFA. So if he starts fighting with FIFA, he may lose a lot of time, and Jude can maybe relax just a little bit here, knowing that he's broken that 1 second gap from DP Roberts here. Yeah, the DRS flap is open for FIFA here, and DP Roberts makes a very late move to go defensive here, and FIFA goes around the outside. Is Schmiffy going to have a little look there, and he goes really wide, but he's going to have the inside down, and he thinks better of it. And that's why this is Tier 6 and not Tier 8, because if that was Tier 8, they would have gone down the inside there, and both cars would be out. I understand I'm sounding like a bitter old man right now. I apologize. FIFA is currently P3 as of right now. He's not going to fall too far, and the other driver who doesn't have a time penalty is Mr. Oddbot, and he is way out of that position there, so there's a lot of other drivers. He will, I think, take advantage of, I think, Leo there, taking his position there, but other than that, I think he's not going to move up too much. Let's take a look at the time penalties as we come to the last couple laps here. I think, yeah, Harry is going to fall a lot. I don't think Typical G or Schmiffy are going to fall too much. Obviously, I think FIFA will give up that position. He'll take P3 there, as long as DP Roberts doesn't get a time penalty here. The one person who does not want to get a time penalty and needs to drive really smooth is Jude up in first place. Obviously, PRT Pistol will fall pretty far, and so I think Dan Matt is safe where he is right now. So currently, DP Roberts holds the fastest lap, but there is some movement going on for this, and Schmiffy is now on the podium position ahead of FIFA Z. So he is enjoying that right now as we are on the final lap here. Not a lot of other movement going on behind him, and I think DPR Roberts is hands in the face while somehow still racing. And he knows that P2 is there. He just, or that P1 was there. He just, something happened before the safety car that caused Jude to take the lead there under safety car. But he just knows that he could have had that win in his hands, but now he's fighting for P2. Honestly, he shouldn't really be fighting these guys, but he is. And as we come through the final sector, we're going to focus on Jude real quick. And look who is catching him rapidly. Oh my god. And that is Schmiffy, but it's not going to make much of a difference. Going down to the finish line, Jude is celebrating. Schmiffy takes that P3 position. FIFA takes P4. Typical G takes P5. And Harry's going to drop a long way. Mr. Oddbot takes P5. Typical G takes P6. Dan Matt takes P7, looks like. And we'll see the final results. That is P1 for Jude. The pole position, who was crashed out on lap 1. Fights back with everything he had. And takes the win here in Qatar. If I had to pick a driver of the day, I'd either pick that between Jude or I would say Schmiffy. Both of those drivers performed excellent today. Kept it under, both pretty calm. So great job to both drivers. Great job to all the drivers that finished this race. They fought hard for those positions. And I think all the drivers performed great today. So give another little golf clap to all the drivers that finished today. As we watch the podium celebrations here, I know it's virtual, but it's got to feel good for Jude there, getting that pole position, getting that win. As we take a look here, this is your final point, look at the points here, and I'm going to take a little screenshot and another little screenshot, and this has been Overtaker Arby's commentating on Global Speed Racing League Twitch channel. If you enjoyed it and you're not following, give us a follow. And come check out our Discord if you're not already on it. You could be in races just like this. So hope everyone has had a great night here on this stream. So thank you,